Hello everyone, it is Christine back for my favourite Thrifty Thursday where I share op shop and secondhand and reclaimed shop finds which I then plan to use and are using in my slow stitch projects. So I've got a little bag of goodies that I got from the Malakuta op shop before we came back from holidays. So they've been sitting here waiting. I haven't yet even washed the fabrics because I thought I'll show you first and then I'll pop them all in the wash. So first up, I mentioned, I think in one of my other videos, that I'd had a final dig in the the big jar of buttons at the op shop in the main street of Malakuta. And I was super pleased to get a whole bunch of gorgeous carved shell buttons because I love these. So there's a whole variety of them, including ones with the patterns on. And then some really interesting buttons. Let's have a look at this one up close. It looks like it has been dug out of the ground because it's actually got little bits of, looks like dirt on it. But it's got a really intricate design on it and there's still little coloured markings on each of the flowers. So that's very precious. Going to have to gently clean that up. Another one, I think I got one of these in my earlier stash. Excuse the slight pinkiness to my hands. I was cleaning up some beetroot that we got in our farm box, taking the leaves off. Lovely little one there. Some newer ones. This one has just like a diamante on it. Beautiful glass buttons, which I adore. Some metal buttons. Some other metal buttons here. That beautiful. I got one of those in the earlier lot too. Some fun buttons like a little train. Here's some more of the gorgeous carved shell buttons that I just love, just adore. And then bigger metal buttons. Another metal button there. More shell buttons, a hexagon, fabric covered buttons, which I love as well. So little linen covered buttons. A black one, a cat button, probably a more modern one, but very cute. Little swirly ones with interesting metallic designs on them. Another one of the shell buttons, beautiful brown markings on this very thin shell button. Look at it, just lovely, shimmery and delicious. And then a really interesting, almost feels like it's covered with like a leather. Looks very old as well, and it's almost like it's got fur or something. Probably from the fabric that it was on. Or maybe actually part of the stuffing of the button. Maybe it's got a firm sort of wadded stuffing. So I think that's a very old button as well. And then a more modern striped button, little diamante button. So yeah, very pleased with that little dig in the button jar. Oh, and one down here, another fabric covered button. Then I got this cute lace as well from the op shop. I just like ones that have a nice little pattern, can make little fences if you're doing like the Journal of Stitchery. So that was cute. Oops, that's just fallen down. Then I always like to look in the pillowcase section, as I've mentioned previously, and this is a lovely floral design. It's 100% pure cotton. I think it's a Sheridan pillowcase, vintage Sheridan. And so then on the back it's just got another floral design, really lovely feeling, a nice thick cotton. So that will be great. So I've got two of those pillowcases, so those can pop on the floor to head off to the wash. So this one matches that same one. And then I got another floral design, and this is, oh no, this one's the same pillow shape. I wasn't sure if this was a European, but it's a big pillowcase. And again, just love the florals, remind me of Sanderson fabrics, and again, a beautiful crisp cotton. And all very clean and nice, but I'll be using that for fabric rather than using it as a pillowcase. And then my final find was I sometimes like to look through the clothes section to see if there's interesting fabrics or laces, and I saw this one and thought, oh, that's a nice lace, but it turns out that it's a really lovely jacket as well. And so this one isn't going to be going into material. It's going to be worn by me. So it's by the Ark. It's made in Australia, which is rare to get clothing these days that's made in Australia, and it's made with fabric from Japan. So made in Australia, and the fabric is sourced from Japan. And it's just a nice, lightweight, black jacket, which I thought could be great in summer when you just need something to throw over your shoulders if you're just heading into air conditioning but you have your nice little summer frock on. So that one will be kept as clothing. Then I also was doing some cleaning up before I went away, and I discovered a whole bag of goodies from the reverse art truck, which I had never shown to you. So I'm going to do that now and then sort them into my stash. So for those who haven't heard about the reverse art truck before, it's here in Melbourne. There's one that's close to me in, I think it's in Narre North, where I often pop in when I'm taking the dog for a walk at the park there. And they get great reclaimed fabrics from industry that are often sample fabrics, and then you're able to go along and fill a bag. If it's a sort of a supermarket sized bag, then that's $15, or otherwise if it's a huge garbage bag, $30. So you can get a lot even just into one of those sort of supermarket sized bags. And so this is some lovely sample fabric in just beautiful woven wool designs. So I'll be removing that off the cardboard. I thought this was a nice Christmassy look one here. Put that down on the floor. Then we've got some more bigger pieces of sample fabric. So again, a lovely Italian from Viano in Italy. Cotton, linen, and just a little bit of polyester in it. So it's, yeah, it feels really great. And nice stripy pieces, which could be great for my current little project, which is going to go on a while, I think, where we're creating an A to Z of stitches, and I'm just doing it on smaller scraps and picking out ones with stripes on them. So some more nice sample fabrics there, some more, and then let me just pop those ones down. This is a piece of padded, like what they would probably make those padded sort of jackets out of. And I previously used this as a backing in the piece that I did for Roxy's journal, Down the Garden Path, the Journal of Stitchery, where I made the hedge with the little rabbits, the Peter rabbits showing through it. So I used it to create a dimensional effect. So I always keep the eye out, and it's got a backing or a fronting on it. So that could be useful for a range of applications, even making a project pouch. It would give it some structure, or even a Japanese rice bag, who knows. So that's that. Let's see what else is in here. I haven't got them out. I've just found the bag and thought, oh yeah, I need to sort those, take them off their hangers and sort them out. So a lovely patterned fabric. I think it's could be a synthetic or a recycled cotton. What does it say? It's a viscose and coupe pro. So that's another nice pattern. So I chose those for the patterns, but they're definitely stitchable with. This one I was thrilled to get. It's a massive piece of linen, striped linen. It is a sample piece again, but it's huge. So it'd be enough to be like a curtain, I guess. I don't know if it was a sample for like a curtaining fabric. It's a bit crisp because it's been sitting in the bag, but how lovely is that? And it just feels gorgeous. So much in that. And then I had some scraps of leather. There was some more in there as well. We'll find them in due course, I'm sure. No, here they are. So they just had a big bucket of different leathers. So I thought it could be useful to have some leather at some point to incorporate into projects. I've got that there. And then some nice silky fabrics, which again might be great for creating backgrounds. So very light, very shimmery, recycled fabric, which is good. What I love about the reverse art truck is you just get really interesting fabrics that you probably wouldn't even find in a regular store. And then greens. I think I was still in my Down the Garden Path vibe then, but always good to have greens. And another green. This one's almost like a, got a little imprint in it, and then just a nice black and with a silvery print on it. So again, that would be great for backgrounds. A little scrap of other fabric, not on a sample hanger. And then some beautiful pleated fabric, blue, could be good for my upcoming Roxy Journal of Stitchery piece, the blue one. Some more little samples here. So these are softer sort of wool ones. Again, nice for making sort of the lining of project bags if you don't have felt. Or just using portions of them. You can almost cut them. They don't tend to fray that much, so you can use them a bit like a felt or a wool felt. And so yeah, it's a wool blend, which is nice. And then got another of the lovely Hessian sacks, which have nice banding markings on them. So I think I'd got 2 of these previously, so this one will be a nice one to add to the stash. Got a big piece of this. They had just a massive bucket of these. It's like a netting, I guess. Almost looks like a fishnet sort of stocking, but it's in a neutral tone, which you could use that way. But I thought it would be great to dye as well, and it's going to be a really nice textural piece, or maybe even for the Roxy Journal of Stitchery treasure hunt, even putting treasures inside it. Like if I was wanting to include some of my shell or tile treasures from the sea, they could be slipped inside a section of it and then enclosed in the design. Let's see, can I find an end of it to see how that would look? You know me, I just get distracted looking at things. So that could be a kind of cool effect, like they're captured in the design, but then that way they'll be easy to stitch down because you can just stitch on the netting. So I'm sure I will find uses for that. I'll have to roll it up a bit more neatly. And then finally, in that bag of goodies, some lovely vintage patterns that they have a whole container of these as well. So I look for the ones that look really old and with fun designs. I just love the ladies on this one. Super cool. Very dynasty, these ones. Big shoulder pads. And then a very fun young ladies with their flares, platform shoes. Just, yeah, love the patterns. Never fussed like whether all the pieces are in there. I'm not going to be sewing them as patterns, but they're great to use again in journals, or possibly in this treasure hunt piece if you're wanting to add some background. I also want to play around with sort of using paper in fabric pieces, and there's a range of techniques by which you can kind of turn paper into fabric-like materials. So stay tuned for that. But that's just my little Thrifty Thursday haul, because I can't let a Thursday go by without sharing some thrifty goodies. And I did find another bag that I haven't shown to you of goodies from Melanie, purveyor of Reclaimed Textiles. So that will wait for next week. Take care, everyone. Bye.